everybody, John Ireland here with Auto Recon Coach. Today we're going to be fixing this big Silverado. It's got a lot of stuff wrong with it. Let's get started. Alright, so if you come on over, you'll see, I'll give you a kind of a tour of what all we're going to be fixing. We got a really badly worn out threshold. We got some tears here on the driver's seat cloth. We got a badly worn steering wheel. Then we've also got a really badly rusty hitch we're going to make look a lot better. And we've also got this spray and bed liner, but the tailgate is not black, so we're going to blacken that tailgate to match the rest of it. Alright, first things first, I'm going to take my bottle of isopropyl alcohol. I'm just going to spray the threshold. That's going to get rid of any of the silicones, waxes, dirt, grease. I'm then just going to take my brush, sweep out any of the dirt, and wipe down the threshold. We call these threshold kick plates. We buy these from Superior Restoration out of California. I really like them. The vehicle has a real nice finish when it's done. It's 3M sticky adhesive on the back side. Just line it up real nice. Push it down and work it into the creases to make sure you don't have any bubbles. I like to take my torch just to heat it up, activate the glue, and push down any edges. I'm now going to take my roll of dealer must remove plastic floor mats, plastic adhesive. I'm going to take my spray glue. I like to use Mask Attack, but you can use 3M Super 77 or other glues, but I like Mask Attack for its versatile uses. I also like to use this as a spray glue for my burn repairs. What you're going to do is you're just going to lightly spritz the carpets. Even though the mats do have a very good adhesive, I always add a little bit extra, especially here in Minnesota where you have humid summers and cold winters. It just helps with the adhesion process. When laying your mats, you really want to make sure you push down all the corners. One little pro tip I like to do is grab my torch and I just lightly torch the mat. That helps activate the glue and it gets your plastic to stick a lot better. So same thing on the passenger side. Just lightly spray the carpets. Lay your mats. If you're using these floor mats, they come in many different sizes, 3 mil, 4 mil, 5 mil. The more adhesive, the better. If you ever go to a car dealership and you see the mats just crumpled up, it's more than likely because they saved the money and bought 3 mil. There's not a lot of glue on them. There's not a lot of durability to them. Just don't do it. All right, to take care of this hitch, we're going to do a quick tape job just so we don't get overspray all over the place. We're going to grab our rubberized undercoating. I like High-Tech's version. High-Tech's version comes in a big can and it is black. A lot of the undercoatings that you can get at other places, auto parts stores, Menards, stuff like that, they normally come in smaller cans and they normally come out brown, like a real dark brown. So I like this. Make sure you give it a good shake. A couple little test sprays to make sure that it's coming out nice. I like to use my blocker, which is a old license plate. I've taped up the holes. I like using license plates for its heat shield capabilities as well, which you'll see me use this in a lot of other videos. We're just going to do a real light back and forth spray motion. Whenever you're spraying, you want to hit it from multiple angles. Here we go. So we're just going to spray it with isopropyl alcohol. Wipe it down. Alright, I'm going to use my mask for this one. And then just like always, we're going to go light back and forth coats. One direction, then another direction. After we go through the whole thing, we're going to see what areas that we need to touch up. For this part here, I'm going to stand out here, grab my blocker, and kind of aim downward. You want to make sure you open up the gate so you can hit this bottom area here and just look for any other white spots or what other color your vehicle is. To get rid of any overspray like this area right here, just use a little acetone and a microfiber towel. Before we get started on the seat, we're going to prep the steering wheel because the steering wheel is going to need a little bit of time to dry. We're going to sand all this wear area and then put on a product called leather crack filler. We're going to let that dry. It's kind of like a primer, smoother, it fills in all the little imperfections, and then once it's dry, we'll sand it and dye it. And we're just rubbing this on thick anywhere that has leather wear or wheel wear, whatever you want to call it. All right, quick little pet peeve. This is one of my biggest pet peeves. This is the blinker. So many detail shops don't clean this area and it's disgusting. So if you're working on the car, just clean it. It's literally takes a few seconds. I like to use a product called Carpet Plus by Malco. It's all-purpose cleaner. You can use it on everything. Literally just put a little bit of the foam on a towel. And in just a few seconds, all that will come right off. Their rant over. All right, we're gonna finish up on the steering wheel. We're gonna grab a drop cloth. I got just an old beach towel. Throw it up over here. You make sure then you don't get overspray all over the place. I got my Ford black ink from Color Bond. It's a pretty standard dark black color. Lots of gentle, light coats. Like always, back and forth, multiple angles. Really listen to the sound of my technique when I'm spraying. I'm barely touching this and kind of going. That way you're making sure that your dye is coming out very light. It's not going on too thick. By doing this, this is already dry. This stuff dries extremely fast. All right, so I don't really know how I'm gonna fix this yet. I'm gonna play around and just see what works. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take my torch and very lightly just go over, just get rid of any of the fraying. In this business, make sure you have a fire extinguisher at all times. Mine is just a few feet away, just in case. We are dealing with fire and solvents a lot. I don't know how I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna experiment, try a couple different things. I cut out a little piece of microfiber towel. My thought is I'm gonna put it underneath here, just because this is a fairly large tears, but it's in a weird spot where it's not a great sewing spot. So I'm gonna try to gently glue these holes together and then fix whatever's left. I'm going to use my Gorilla Gel Super Glue. And just put a little bit on there. A little bit there. Now this is not the end step, so I'm not worried about this part being perfect. I just want to glue these tears down. Now this is actually deep, so I'm gonna have to grab a little bit more to fill in there. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit more underneath this area. Build that up. Tuck that back in. There we go. Use my glue. Glue it down and glue it on and around. Now I'm going to take my permanent marker, just lightly darken the orange spots. Again, we're not done. All right, I'm grabbing my burn kit. Grab my velour poofer, my other velour poofer, some black, some gray, and my Eileen's Fabric Fusion, which you can get at Walmart. We're going to put some of the Eileen's Fabric Fusion all over our repair. Really try to push it into the damage. I'm going to take some of my black velour. I'm literally just going to push it on. Alright, so we got it base filled. Now we're going to, this is some dark gray velour I already had. I'm going to throw it into my poofer. Shake it up. You see how the color's looking. It's just a little dark. We're gonna add some more dark gray. A little bit more Fabric Fusion. This time we're also gonna go just a little bit of spray glue. Push it down. Push it down. Our repair is dry. We're going to do another coat of our Fabric Fusion. Again, just kind of push that into the repair. A little bit of spray glue. I added a little bit of dark brown into the velour to help match the color a little bit more. The color looks pretty good now. I'm just gently poofing is what we call it in the biz. I'm just gently poofing some velour on there. Gently tapping it back down. A little bit more spray glue. Just a little more poofing. Tap it down. We're gonna let that sit and dry for about 5 minutes. All right, our repair is done. It's dry. This thing's ready to take off. So I think we got it looking a million times better than what it was. And that's all we're ever going for.